Hello everyone, this is going to be a pick a card about how is spirit using you right now. So there's going to be 3 piles to choose from. Go ahead and pick your pile. Okay, so let's start with pile 1. Move these out. So in what ways is spirit using you right now? Kind of like as a role model or as a tool, but more in a way like an inspiration to others, that type of thing. So contract, healer of ages, the Empress in reverse, the World in reverse, the Romantic Fool, fall in love with yourself and fall in love with life, and the Faithful, have faith. So, there you go. Let me just tap into this energy real quick. Already it feels like this is not an easy job or an easy role that's being asked of you, but it's like you're supposed to make it look like it's easy. Not that it's supposed to look easy, but it's like you're not supposed to show necessarily how much you're struggling, and not in a way like you're supposed to hide it, but that's not supposed to be your identity. That's what you're helping people do, is not identify with their circumstances or their problems or whatever they're dealing with in life. It's like not overly attaching yourself to that title or that role. I'm seeing someone with the role of like being the president, and every time you see them, they look great, they look amazing. They don't look stressed, and you're just like, how do they do it? Like, you know, there's so much going on, but it never shows. It's like you're somebody who they never see you sweat. And this isn't in a way of like you're supposed to hold back and not express how you feel. This means you're able, okay, also I'm thinking of a dancer or a performer, any type of really, the reason I say dancer is because it's both very physical, but also it has to be very beautiful. So like ballet, for example, is the perfect example, because it obviously is such intense, hard work, but they make it look so easy and graceful, and it doesn't look like they're using every single muscle in their body and like their toes are about to break. Like, you don't see that. It just looks beautiful and graceful. And that's the energy of you, of this pile 1. It's someone who, no matter what you go through, it's like you handle it with grace. That's a really good word for this pile, grace. It's like everything, nothing can make you, it's like your spirit is so strong and connected to something so beyond the physical that nothing physical could ever change that signature of your spirit. It's almost like if your spirit has a certain scent to it, like let's say it smelled like roses, it's like no matter where you are, you could be in the middle of the sewer and it would still smell like roses, because it's so strong and it's not something anything physical could take away or erase, because it doesn't come from anything physical. It doesn't come from anything tangible. It doesn't come from anything temporary. It's like this signature you have that no matter what you do, it'll always be you. It's like you're recognizable through this signature. And there's a lot, it's like you're the opposite of victimhood, and how there's so much of that in the world. But victimhood it reminds me of the 8 of Swords, which is a card about, it's like being in your own mental prison. And to me, that's what victimhood is. It's holding yourself back and choosing to keep yourself locked up in a box and limited to what you can do. And it's not empowering at all. It's very disempowering to be in that. And this is that your energy is the opposite of that. You show people, and right now it's so strong within the world, and victimhood comes from not being, like, your pain and your suffering not being acknowledged. So I'm not blaming anyone who is living in victimhood, and it, like I said, it's like being in prison, so it's really uncomfortable and sometimes feels like torture. So obviously the people in that energy are really going through it. But if they were able to see that it stems from not ever having that acknowledgement, and they're not going to get it from anywhere outside of themselves, because that's where they're looking, and that's why they continue to be disempowered, because they need someone to affirm how they feel. They need to express, they need someone to hear it for it to be valid. But they really have to validate that for themselves. And right now, there's so much of that, because there's so much pain and suffering, and people are looking around for someone to blame, or someone, because they need someone to fix it, and they don't think they can be that person for themselves. And that's what you're here to show them. How to handle, how to not take it personally when you face challenges. It's like you have this higher lens or perspective of love that covers everything you do, and it helps people see the truth in a very illusioned world. You represent the truth and the light, just like in this picture. You could have an almost white, pure white type of aura. Also in this picture, the world, how the world is surrounded by that like white light that's also coming out of her stick or wand. And also there's just a lot, and the white dog in the card, the white gown, more white. It's like purity, truth. So you've come here to show people, like in this picture of Faith, he's just happy and he's just free. And it's like, challenges don't always have to be, like, you can make them beautiful. You can make your pain mean something. You can make your suffering count. You can move through life as art, as living art, and that's what you are. You're a masterpiece. And that's the example, the role that Spirit has you in right now. And it feels like it's not just right now, it's your entire life. But maybe right now it's really transforming, because you had to perfect that role first within yourself so that you could actually be it. And I feel like now that you've perfected it, now it's when it's really going to influence people around you. And it already has been, but now it's going to be taken to another level. Like maybe you used to influence people in your community, but now you're going to be influencing people in your whole country, like that type of thing. So it's like you don't show fear, you don't show sadness, and it's because you know that even if those feelings are there, that there are other feelings that you would prefer that are also there, and you're going to choose that, and you're going to put that face on and show people that they have a choice. So I hope that resonates for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. So now we will get into pile 2. So what role is Spirit having you play? What are you asked to do right now for them? Door to value. I don't know if you want to see the cards. Door to value. 31. 6th chakra. Archangel Metatron. 40. Queen of Swords. Reverse. Knight of Cups. Reverse. The Deceitful. Trust your intuition. In reverse. And the Dutiful. Assume all duties with love in your heart. also reverse. So let me tune into this. In a way, I feel like this group, you could be someone who annoy people a lot, but it's not like you're trying to. It's like you seem to get away, like you seem a little bit rebellious, or a little bit like you just seem like the rules don't apply to you, like you don't really take things that seriously that other people tell themselves they have to take seriously. And it's like you're just a little too carefree for people's, like, it makes them uncomfortable. You're just a little too relaxed, a little too not worried, a little too happy, like having a little too much fun. And you could be someone who people see, like maybe on the outside you don't have everything and everything available to you, like you have a lot of challenges, but even so, it's like they affect you differently. People, and this isn't mean this is really how it is, but people perceive that you brush challenges off like they're nothing to you. Like you almost, not that you don't feel, but you're just like, you don't care because you can't be bothered. Like you just want to have fun. And it's so triggering to some people, but to other people, it's like you're a living, in the last pile I said living art. This feels similar, but it's like, that was more like classic art. This is more like entertainment, like movies, TV, just music, especially music. And in this card, it's reminding me of music. And like some people, it looks like that in your mind when you hear music. And it's like you see different colors. And also it's just how music can reach and connect so many people all around the world. You can be listening to the same song and feeling something similar. And there's just this connection. And it's like the people that don't understand you, or the people that are upset by you or just by your existence, are actually so far removed from reality that they don't they think you're not taking life seriously, when the truth is you're focusing on the only things that are serious, which is the experience and what you'll learn and the people you'll meet and all these things. And you know that, and you just don't waste time trying to explain yourself to people or trying to get people to understand or be like, no, this is why I did this. You're just so at peace with, like, you're not trying to interfere with anybody's experience. Like, you're gonna let them have the freedom to think what they want about you, and you know that has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of them. And you also aren't interested, you don't even care what people think of you, because you know what you think of yourself. So to you, it's just irrelevant. Anyone else's opinion is just irrelevant. And that really upsets people, especially people who need others' opinion, and they see you not even caring about it, and it's so irritating. But just know, if you ever, never feel bad or guilty for receiving or for getting, if you do ever start to feel like you just have a lot of good luck or things just work out for you, because you're a very empathetic person, again, you're not somebody who doesn't care. You're somebody who doesn't waste energy on things that don't matter to you. That's all. But that's why you save your energy for the things that do matter, and you give it your all. But you're somebody who, you are empathetic, and sometimes you can feel guilty. It's not your natural feeling, but other people have tried to make you feel guilty, like you're privileged, like you're so lucky, or you've had this, or you've gotten this, or whatever. But it's like, and you may feel bad, like, why don't these people have enough? Why don't they have this thing I have? But if you're feeling that way, you're undervaluing what you bring to, like I said, Spirit is using you for this role to show people something they didn't even know existed until they saw it. And it's just like how people would react if they saw a mermaid or a unicorn, and it's like they've never seen this before, or like a fairy. Some people are gonna think that's awesome and amazing and fun and magical, and they'll have a positive reaction. Some people, they'll just be like, they'll just be so desensitized, like, guess that exists now. Some people, they'll be really upset because it shakes the foundation of what they thought was true, and that's really terrifying and scary for them. So everyone's going to have a different reaction to you, but don't associate that, and you already don't, but this is just if you need a little reminder, to not associate that with like what you deserve, or like you're given a lot and things work out for you because they're supposed to, because it's just like if a really important person is walking through, they're going to have security and people like making a way and a path for them, so they don't have to go and try to push through this crowd. It's going to be made for them because they're important and they need to get by and they need to come through. They don't need to feel bad about that, because whatever they're doing, it requires that level of importance and space and respect, and so do you. So you're meant to be blessed, but just know that you are helping people by being you and embodying this role that Spirit has asked of you, because you show them it's a good thing that you break down what they believe and make them question it, because all you're breaking down is their limiting beliefs, all the things they tell themselves that hold them back, that hold back their potential. That's what you're breaking down. And yeah, for some people they don't like it, but it's helping everyone. And it's not just you doing this. This is Spirit working through you. This is part of a greater divine plan, and you get to be a huge part of it. So don't ever feel bad for receiving, because at a soul level, like, you chose this, and those who, like, everyone had a choice at some level before incarnating here. And it's like, if you agree to do a job, if everyone has an equal chance at getting a job, and you get to choose what job you want, and whatever that job is, it has a certain pay. Someone will choose this job with this pay. They can't get mad that someone else chose that job with that pay, because I'm talking about on a soul level, not on a human earth level. I'm talking about before coming here, it was an equal level. You get to choose based on what you wanted to learn, or your missions, or whatever the case may be. It's customized to you. And you chose this job that requires you to have these things, requires things to go your way, because you don't need to be wasting your time trying to get your way. Like, that's why it's supposed to come to you, so you can use your time for what it actually is meant for, which is what you naturally do. So don't feel bad that you're doing what you were made to do. You're like this powerful, it's like would the commander of a great army feel guilty that they're getting, like, special privileges? They're literally protecting their entire nation. They deserve those privileges, So accept them gracefully and graciously, and just don't even acknowledge feelings of guilt, because you're here to show people you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to limit yourself and hold yourself back. Life can be a beautiful, fun experience, and you can get things easily, and you can manifest easily, and you don't have to wait and suffer for everything. Like, you're showing people, you're taking this load off their heart, this weight. And if you just focus on the majority, they're so inspired by you and healing just by being in your presence, just by knowing you. Like, there's so many people you don't even know of that their lives have changed for the better just from having a single interaction with you. So never underestimate your value, and continue on as you are. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, one more pile. So pile 3, how is Spirit using you, or what role are they having you play or do in this life? So Goddess of the Moon, or 52, Patience, And Goddess of the Moon is reverse. Four of Wands. Ace of Wands. The Hopeful, be hopeful in reverse. And the Soul Fool, do what feels right. Okay, so it's interesting because two of these photos have the moon and stars, this one, and then this Goddess of the Moon. And these two both have like, well, they're both wands with little leaves, same imagery. And even here, leaves growing little plant. Okay, so, and then here, I'll say the significance. So there's plants or these trees. It's winter though, so they're covered in snow, I think. I don't know if that's leaves or snow. Yeah, snow. So basically, this is the springtime, even though right now when I'm recording this, it's fall. But this is like talking about this season in your life right now. It's after a long harvest and a long winter. And now the growth is coming back. So it was something that was always going to grow again. So for you, I feel like it's the pile of regeneration, of this pile goes through many dark nights of the soul. Like this is a very dark light pile. So if you feel like you're a balance between dark and light energies and you sometimes are in one side more, sometimes the other, but most of the time somewhere in between the two, helping balance the two, then this is definitely your pile. So there's definitely this energy of the phoenix of this cycle. I'm also thinking of, I think it's called Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. I think that's what it's called, but it's that image of the snake and it's eating its own tail, or it's giving birth to itself from its mouth. Nobody knows. But it's just this endless cycle of death and rebirth. And even though it's a cycle, it's different every time. It like uncovers a new layer every time. So, and you could relate to Persephone also. But this is just, this pile faces darkness on a daily, like the type of darkness people spend their life trying to run from. But it's like you can do it because your life is truly like a video game, how if you die, you just respawn and you go to the checkpoint. And it's like, that's you. Like you can die, but you can always come back. So it's like, in a way, you're immortal. And so you work very closely with the collective, and each time you go through a cycle, you help raise the collective, and you basically go through it and each time adding to the collective to help them out. It's like whatever they don't do or can't do, you make up for it. Like you help balance it out. So this could feel like, it could just feel like being you is a burden sometimes, or it's a burden to be you, it's a burden to, and it's like, it's things that you can't escape. It's just ingrained in your soul. It's just like this soul contract. And people see you and it's like, they're like, oh, there's no way they're gonna come back. They're gone, they're dead. And then you just rise up from the dead brand new and better than when you were alive last. They're like, what? And it's like people always, even though you keep rising, people keep doubting it, but at some point they have to just accept that it's always going to be. So I feel like the role, you understand your role very well. You've always had an inner knowing of it, and it's, in a way, you didn't have another choice, like it's all you can do. But this message here is a little different from the other two piles because this is more a message it's saying you already know what we've asked, you know your role, but this is saying your role is going to be changing. So you've been experiencing, as I said, some dark, some light, going back and forth, but overall, the pendulum has been on the dark side. You are going to be experiencing the other half of that, the light side, which again will have both the dark and the light, but the overall theme, the general experience of it will be light. So if it has been very hard, and this is acknowledging that, but it's saying this last time, whatever it was that you felt like it kind of broke you down, whatever last breakdown you had, that was the last one of the dark side I'm hearing, or the darker energy. And now it has switched. And now everything moving forward is going to be, because you've been patient, you've mastered patience, you've surrendered to patience, and you've accepted it. And that's also why this is all happening right now. But this is telling you things are shifting. Just as you go through these cycles, your life also will. And now that it's like the life goes through slower. You're always going through them, and then life is going through them at a somewhat slower rate. So now, that's why just now the pendulum is swinging, and it's taken this long, but it is swinging. And because it has to balance, things have been off balance. It's as if just like a pendulum, the further it goes, the further it has to come back. It's like creating a deeper hole to fill in, or a deeper, like as much as it goes back, it's gonna have to return. So now it reached that point, and then it came back, and now it's switched. So I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to describe what I'm seeing in my mind, but anyway, this is switching for you. So you're still going to be doing this balancing, harmonizing thing, but you're going to be experiencing a whole other side of it. And you never gave up hope, but you, in a way, put hope on hold. Like you knew you had hope, but you just had this inner knowing that you would have to wait a very long time. And so you didn't want to just stay in an expected energy. You wanted to just wait for the signs. And this is the sign. So this green light, you're going to get signs. You're going to be noticing green a lot. Green in places you may not normally notice it, or it's just going to stand out a lot to you. And these are signs. And also look how every card has green. Well, I guess these two, they all do because of this. But really every card has some green in it, a lot of green. So this isn't just luck. This is like, and that's how you could have been thinking, wow, I'm kind of lucky lately, or like things have been going more my way lately. But that's because the pendulum had switched, like I said, and it's just going to be increasing and increasing and increasing. So that's what you have to expect and to look forward to. And in case you're always the one bringing others hope. And so now Spirit is using this message to give you hope that now you can bring your hope back online, because expect these changes here and now. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.